Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Hey guys, what's up? JK here back from another review. Happy Friday the 13th. Because of today being Friday the 13th, I'm going to be reviewing part 3 because that's where the iconic hockey mask game. So now, time to review Friday the 13th part 3 in 3D. 2D actually. I'm reviewing the 2D movie. I don't normally watch the 3D movie. But anyway, let's just go into it.
He starts with exactly where part 2 ended, and mostly, I'm just gonna leave that out since I'm just gonna wait till I review that movie to show most of this, so, yes, let's get to the movie. The movie starts with a convenience store right around Crystal Lake. There's our first 3D shot in this 3D movie. His wife ends up seeing a news report about Jason and what happened in part 2, even showing Jenny from part 2 as well. She then sees Jason in his part 2 outfit. Now Jason got some new threads for the movie. Harold finds a rabbit in the store, so he decides to take it back to where it's supposed to go, in this cage, and he ends up finding something. It scares him so much that he goes to take a crap.
Dude, wipe your ass! That's not right! You gotta wipe your ass first! Before you leave the damn toilet!
Jason goes to kill his crappy ass with a meat cleaver. And while looking for her husband, she finds a mouse. She also ends up finding Jason, and he kills him. Our teens in the movie, which is Chris and her friends who really, really like sex. Oh yeah, and there is also one other character, Shelly, who is the prankster, and he is the most character in this movie. Oh yeah, and they somehow are able to get Shelly a date. Van's on fire, so we get to meet two more characters, which is, of course, the potheads.
Some people didn't have to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes.
That's what happens when you're pregnant.
Damn, Jason's gonna be able to kill a pregnant lady? Stab her in the stomach.
Cops begin to chase them, so now they have to scarf down the pot. Because she's also pregnant, she can't eat the pot, but then it turns out to be a false alarm. They're actually there for the people who died earlier in the opening scene. They almost run over an old man because they had to find somebody to take a crazy old guy. But then he also has something with him. He has an eyeball, which Shelly points out because it's an eyeball.
That's an eyeball!
They leave because there's a 3D eyeball.
I have warned thee.
Teens go down to Higgins Haven because that's the setting for the movie. Trish ends up going inside the cabin to see her ex-boyfriend Rick. Who, yeah.
Chris.
It's my bag.
Alright, I understand why we didn't see him because jump scare, but how the hell didn't you see him?
This girl ends up getting a hammock because, she needs to fuck her boyfriend later.
Where's the bed?
Chris and her boy toy put some hay in the barn. Even though they don't have any horses, still they do it. They scream and go to check it out. They end up finding Shelly dead with an axe in his head.
Man, Jason really started the body count early in this movie.
Don't move him!
Never mind.
Everybody thinks he's an asshole because he played that prank. Even though Vera thinks Shelly's a dick, she still lets him go to the store with her.
That fucking run. What the hell is that? That makes me laugh alone. What the hell is that?
Chris thinks Shelly's a dick because something happened to her 2 years ago. Vera needs some money because she needs to pay for stuff, and Shelly passes her his wallet. This biker bitch makes her say, "Please!"
Yep, nothing's worse than having to say, please may I have the wallet. Ma'am. It's awful.
stuff, so Shelly drives. But that's also a bad idea because he ends up running over their bikes. Looks all nice and peaceful, but he ends up breaking their window because they broke his bike. Get away with broken window.
Come back here, you bastard! You ain't getting away with this! God damn it! I'm gonna get you!
The 3D technology by using a yo-yo.
Yep, when you're in one of the first 3D movies, or at least one of the first good ones, you always gotta show a big yo-yo in your face.
He's pissed that all of his windows are broken. So her and Trish end up deciding to go out and get some peace. These two decide to go out and skinny dip, even though we don't get to see them skinny dip, which kinda sucks. And now someone's there. It's actually not Jason. It's just the bikers there to burn the barn with their own gas. Biker chicks ends up going into the barn to check out what's in there. He ends up deciding to swing on this rope. Ali tells her to get off. He looks back. She is gone. The rope's still swinging. Ali goes into the barn to look for her. And he does end up finding her. But she's already dead.
Why the hell is there no blood in her wound?
So now, Ali's the last one of the bikers left to fight Jason. Jason throws Loco right onto Ali's body. Ali tries to fight, but no one's matched to Jason. After this, we see Chris and her boyfriend talking about old memories. Afterwards, we end up getting a 3D shot of apples and juggling! Yeah, great use of your 3D effect. Shelly asks Vera out, but she ends up saying no because she thinks he's kind of a dick.
We'll talk.
Well, at least she just turned you down and didn't ignore you.
Bitch.
Oh yeah, and these two are about to fuck in the hammock. Chris has a flashback of this hideous man who tried to do something to her.
I don't know what happened after that. I just don't know.
Just ask Jason what happened. He probably won't tell you, but he does smile about it.
The car battery dies, so now they have to walk back to the house, which means the others will have a lot of time to die. This guy decides to go to the outhouse to go and take a crap. This guy gets the crap scared out of him when the thing starts to rock. Then he ends up finding his girlfriend for a nice jump scare. They thought they saw Shelly, so they can try to jump scare him. But he's not there, so gotta try another time. The reason why Shelly's not there is because he's trying to jump scare Vera with this goddamn hockey mask right on him.
Personally, Shelly in this movie is my favorite character. Just because he reminds me of me, since I'd probably be pranking people too. It's fun.
After that, Shelly goes to the barn to check something out, but we don't get to see much of what happened after Jason takes the mask. Vera ends up dropping Shelly's wallet into the water, and Jason comes out with his new hockey mask.
Right now, that's not funny.
Now that's how you do a 3D shot.
After this, we see the other two are finally done screwing, so now this chick can go take a shower.
Taking a shower. You gotta try it sometime.
He asks her if she wants a beer, and she says she wants one, so he goes to get it. But he doesn't know that Jason's gonna be right there.
I can't hear you.
She gets out of the shower to see exactly where the hell her boyfriend went, but she gives up because she needs to read about Tom Savini and Godzilla. She doesn't know that her boyfriend's right on top of her.
You know, it's hilarious hilarious to think Jason underneath that. I mean, seriously, how did she not notice a big man underneath her hammock? Plus, the effects aren't as good as in the original, so it kind of makes the kill kind of crappy.
The lights ends up going out, so this chick decides to practice her orgasm. The pothead goes back in to put it back on the power so he can get laid later. Even though he won't. Shelly comes in with his throat slit. But she doesn't believe him because, boy, that cried woof. And then, so he ends up dying right there. After this, Jason is behind Stoner. Time for a kill. After this, she actually figures out Shelly is actually fucking dead. So after this, she has some really bad acting scenes of her being scared. Great. She's scared of wind, so of course.
That just scene was hilarious. What the hell? God damn it. What the hell are you thinking hiring her? That acting is just hilarious to listen to. Not in a good way.
Final girl's finally there to fight Jason. They left this place in really bad shape, so they have to look for him. Jason has Rick. So now, he's screwed, since only the final girl is going to be left after
I'm sorry, but that's so bad, but it's fucking awesome.
Chris goes in the bathroom to see bloody clothes in there. Chris goes out to look for Rick, but instead she ends up finding something else. Something worse. She finds Loco's body. It ends up coming down to give a jump scare. She ends up closing the doors and calling for Rick. Rick does come, though. After this, Jason comes out so we can see a good close-up of his hockey mask. And it's a pretty good mask. Trish ends up hiding inside the closet, so then Jason can try to knock the damn thing down and get her. Chris ends up grabbing the knife from her dead friend's body. Jason's still trying to chop down that door, but he is stupid and puts his hand in and she stabs him. Chris ends up swinging at him a few times, but then finally gets him in the leg. She tries to go out the window, but of course Jason tries to pull her back up. Chris's jacket breaks, so she ends up falling down, and then she goes to the door and hits Jason in the goddamn head. Chris goes into the car, and she tries to start it up. It does end up working. The van ends up stopping because all the gas is in the barn, but don't worry at all, they got a reserve tank. But the bridge breaks, and Jason ends up getting stuck in the windows because Trish is a smart girl. But he's able to get out in there in a few seconds. Chris ends up going into the barn to dodge Jason. This is up, giving us this weird 3D shot. I mean, what the hell were they thinking? Chris ends up giving another cheap shot to Jason and ends up knocking him out. And Jason has a bad stun resistance, so he's down for a while, and she ends up hanging him. Seeing Jason still hanging there, but of course, he's not dead. He's not even close to being dead. Jason shows his face to tell her that he's the one that attacked her those years ago. All hope seems to be lost, but Ali comes out to fight. She ends up grabbing the axe so she can end up putting the final blow to Jason.
Because of Jason being more human in this movie than all the later movies, this definitely does knock him down for a few hours.
Chris, for some reason, decides to go on the boat, which makes no goddamn sense why she decided to do it, but whatever. Chris wakes up with... she's scared of everything, really. Jason comes out with a bloodied face, and his iconic axe mark now after this. But instead, Chris is just going insane, and then this happens.
mention Jason's name. Except for the part 2 flashback, that's completely different. But seriously, what the fuck? Hell, I don't even think they showed her grave. That doesn't make any sense.
After that, they take Chris to the White Room. And since she's going freaking insane, and then they show Jason's body for one last shot.
Before I say my thoughts, I'm gonna say the best 2 kills in the movie, because I'm just gonna start doing that with horror movies now. Just say the best 2 kills. The best kill is definitely Rick, even though you hope it's fake, right? Billy is the best character in the movie, and I wish they would have gave him a better death, but they gave him a wolf cried thing. So, yeah, that's why it's probably the worst kill, because it's not much. They don't even show it, really. So that was Friday the 13th Part 3. Is it any good? I liked it. It wasn't my favorite in the series, but it was the first horror movie I owned. Well, second. But I got it same day as Freddy vs. Jason. Still got the case back here. A little bit fucked up, but still, it means a lot to me. But anyway, that was it was good, but it wasn't as good as the rest of the series. And there were some great films in the series. Final Chapter and Part 6 are my favorite too in the movies, but this one's definitely lower because of the acting. But I'm still gonna give it a higher rating because it was one of my first horror movies myself. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because it deserves it. Because it means a lot to me. I watched it a lot. It was my first. It was, even though I got sick of it after a while, like watching it over and over and over again, I still go back to it every once in a while, and that's why I'm giving it a 4. But yeah. But anyway, guys, happy Friday the 13th, and hopefully you guys can watch my stream on Blood Jason Part 4 Jason later today. But please comment, like, subscribe. See ya.
It's been a long, rough road, and I'm finally here. I'm moving inch forward, feels like a year. Everything I feel seems so unreal. Is it true? Is it true? I'll take 1 step forward and 2 steps back.